Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Well, while the two corrupt parties that are basically just puppets of the oligarchs bicker over a new stimulus package, this has been going on. 8 million have slipped into poverty since May as the federal aid has dried up. 8 million people. Two new studies show the effect of the emergency $2 trillion package known as the CARES Act and what happened when the money ran out. What I could guarantee you in this New York Times article is there's going to be no mention of the $4.25 trillion that was in the CARES Act that went to Wall Street. All this money went to Wall Street. And the big companies of Wall Street, they took the money. Yeah, they're going to take the loans, the bailouts. They're going to take all of it. After an ambitious expansion of the safety net in the spring saved millions of people from poverty, the aid is now largely exhausted and poverty has returned to levels higher than before the coronavirus crisis, two new studies have found. The number of poor people has grown by 8 million since May, according to researchers at Columbia University, after falling by 4 million at the pandemic started, a result of the $2 trillion emergency package known as the CARES Act. Using a different definition of poverty, researchers from the University of Chicago and Notre Dame found that poverty has grown by 6 million people. 2 million people were thrust into poverty when everything got shut down. CARES Act came in, helped some people, right? Now it's grown to 8 million people are in poverty. What does that mean for all the people barely hanging on? Well, they tell you should have 6 months of savings. Okay, people had 6 months of savings. That's come and gone. Maybe they got some federal aid money. Maybe they've had to, some people have been able to readjust their businesses and scramble and do that other stuff. Some people are just barely hanging on. These numbers are very concerning, said an economist at the University of Chicago. They tell us people are having a lot more trouble paying their bills, paying their rent, putting food on the table. There are now, it was 28, it's upwards of over 30 million evictions that are going to come down in the next couple of months. 30 million evictions. You got 8 million people thrust into poverty on top of everybody else who already was barely getting by. Underscoring those concerns, the Labor Department reported on Thursday that about 886,000 people filed new claims for unemployment benefits last week. This was posted October 15th, an increase of nearly 77,000 or 9.5% from the previous week. Adjusted for seasonal variation, the total was 898,000. The recent rise in poverty has occurred despite an improving job market since May, an indication that the economy had been rebounding too slowly to offset the lost benefits. And now the economy is showing new signs of deceleration amid layoffs and a surge in coronavirus cases and deadlock talks in Washington over new stimulus. The Democratic House has twice passed multi-trillion-dollar packages to provide more help and to stimulate the economy, but members of the divided Republican Senate, questioning the cost and necessity, have proposed similar, smaller plans. None of this article, again, this article will not talk about if that $4.25 trillion in stimulus was actually given to the American people. Small business owners, it's tough. A lot of businesses, have opened back up or they use their PPP loan or whatever, but it's still not enough. And everyone's like, open up the economy. Okay, great. Even if we're able to do that, there's 8 million people living in poverty. There's all these businesses that have already gone under. There's people behind on rent that are facing eviction, which has a trickle up effect, right? So all the people who own rental properties, not the big rental corporations. I don't have any sympathy for them, but just for like regular people who it's a wise investment. It was nobody foresaw coronavirus, but it's a wise investment. Oh, you have a little extra money, buy a condo to rent out, buy a home to rent out, buy a little apartment complex to rent out. Brings in passive income. That's a great thing, passive income, right? Now what? Let's say you and your significant other bought you bought a four unit apartment complex. Okay. And now two of those people can't pay rent. So now you borrowed the money. I'm just going to use round numbers. Let's say it was $2 million for an apartment complex. Let's just grab that number. You put money down on it. You and your significant other, had $400,000 to put down. Great. So you're financing it, and the rent from the four properties pays the property taxes, pays your mortgage, and pays, and you make a little profit from it. Great. Now two of those people can't pay rent. They're behind, or they're only paying half rent or whatever. So now you're behind on your mortgage too. They're behind on their rent, and the property owner's behind on their mortgage. These big corporations get bailed out. So if that person would have been bailed out, then that person could have said, don't worry about it. The government paid. You don't have to pay rent. I'm taking care of it. It's all good. Nope. And when the CARES Act first came out, man, I said, watch out. It's going to be a big land grab. And what's also looming, and I don't know if it's in this article, but there's the commercial real estate market. So in 2008, it was the residential mortgage bubble. But all these commercial businesses, because now think about it. Think about these big office buildings that no one's going to work because everybody's working at home. There's even companies talking about, like I heard I forget the name of it, Lodge, and there was some big company up in Silicon Valley, had some big office space, millions of dollars, and they're like getting rid of it because everybody's working at home. So all these there's a big commercial real estate bubble that's going to pop. What's that going to do to the economy? I listen to these financial experts talk, and they're talking like there's an asteroid, an economic asteroid coming to this planet, coming to this country specifically, because this country hasn't handled it right. We've been printing money. That's why I tell you, man, this government doesn't give a shit about you and me. It doesn't care about us. It doesn't care about us. It doesn't care. That's why get knowledgeable about cryptocurrency. Some people are buying gold and silver. Get educated, learn about that stuff, get comfortable with it, learn about it, because President Trump has alternately demanded that Congress go big before the elections and cancel negotiations. On Thursday, he signaled his way he was ready to increase the size of previous White House offers. Hours later, like this happened yesterday. It sounded like the Democrats were making a deal with the White House, because Trump obviously wants to get reelected, so he wants a stimulus plan before the election, which, I don't want him to be president, but I don't want Americans to go hungry. And these two corrupt parties. But then McConnell said he's not. McConnell blocked it, and Elizabeth Warren came up, and the CARES Act included one-time payments of most households of $1,200 per adult and $500 per child, and a huge expansion of unemployment insurance. So when it all started to show up in May and June, it kind of gave people a little bit of a relief. Oh, they're getting unemployment, that extra $600 a week on top of whatever your state unemployment was giving you. It was like, okay. I know a lot of people that were like terrified. They lost their job, and then that came in. They're like, okay, we're good. Well, that ran out in August. Some people have scrambled and found work, and my industry was shut down, so they're working somewhere else. A lot of people have had to do that. An expansion at least doubled the share of jobless workers who received checks, the researchers estimate, by including gig workers and the self-employed through December. In addition, it added $600 to weekly aid through July, nearly tripling the average benefit. For about 2/3 of the beneficiaries, the bolstered checks more than replaced their lost wages. Okay, that's good. At its peak in May, the aid kept more than 18 million people from poverty, the Columbia research found, but by September, that number had fallen to about 4 million. CARES Act was unusually successful, but now it's gone, and a lot more people are poor. While the Columbia model showed an improvement in September, the Chicago and Notre Dame analysis found poverty continued to grow. Talk about this one family. It's Admires the CARES Act, say its success in reducing poverty amid the economic collapse shows the benefits of a strong safety net. It wasn't perfect, but hands down, it's the most successful thing we've ever done in negating hardship, said a poverty researcher. Poverty is rising may draw special attention because of his. He is a critic of government poverty statistics, saying they exaggerate the number of poor people while failing to fully measure the resources that lower-income households receive. Oh, that's bullshit. Black people and Latinos are more than twice as likely as white people to be poor, the new data shows. Both minority groups disproportionately work in industries hard hit by recession and may face barriers to aid. Black people disproportionately live in southern states with low benefits, and some Latinos are disqualified because they lack legal status. Both studies also found child poverty raising at a rapid rate, with an additional 2.5 million children falling below the poverty line since May. So that's what's happening in America. So hopefully they'll pass this new CARES Act soon, this new stimulus plan that'll give some relief to some people. But the long-term effects, I mean, I know a bunch of people that worked in the airline industry that were like furloughed or working part-time, and now they're like, it's going to be gone soon. They're going to get laid off. There's been an 85% reduction in flights and travel. Hotel business, all these, like I've said you this before, as a stand-up comic, I just sort of loosely looked at how many jobs, me getting on a plane, flying to some city in America, not even international, but just America, to do a show, excuse me, from the time I get in the Lyft driver car, that driver, the airport staff, the baggage people, the people, whatever, I buy food in the terminal, the people on the airplane, the people in the airplane land, the hotel staff, the rental car staff, it's about 70 jobs that I directly impact by me getting on a plane. I would see it. I mean, I would crunch the numbers, all the money I would have to spend, the plane ticket, the hotel. I'm spending all this money, the ticket revenue that comes in from folks like you coming to the show that helps the staff get jobs, and all these, the bartenders, if they serve food, everybody. And a lot of comedy clubs are in areas where there's like other restaurants and stuff. So when a live show happens, all this money comes into that area. People are like, oh, we'll go get drinks after the show across the street, or we got dinner before the show down the street, or whatever. All those jobs are affected now. So Paycheck Protection Program for small business requires that you spend it on staff. And there's all these provisions like the EIDL loan. Some of that's helpful. In Australia, the government paid people's wages to keep the economy. So it's 8 million people in poverty. That number is going to grow. The eviction number is going to grow. The economy is going to collapse. It's going to be brutal. It won't matter who's in the White House. It's going to be brutal. So learn how to grow your own food. It's something I'm learning. I was on Nay's Garden Show, and that's why I've gotten into crypto. So thanks for watching the show. Like, share, subscribe, support us in many ways. Patreon, Rockfin, Venmo, PayPal button. It's all there in the show notes. But if money's tight, I get it. I get it. Great ways to support the show for free. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button, the bell notification button. We go live 4 or 5 days a week. Watch the ads on YouTube all the way through. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. You can sign up on Rockfin for free, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. They have a premium level for $10 a month if you want to do that, but you can sign up there for free. Share these videos on your social media. That helps promote the show. Those are all free ways to support the show. I have a Pandora channel. You listen to my Pandora channel, I get residual income. And then I have a Coinbase affiliate code. Coinbase is a crypto exchange where you can link it to a bank account and put in your currency in there, buy and sell crypto. And if you use my affiliate code and you buy $100 in crypto, you get $10 of free Bitcoin. I get $10 of free Bitcoin. Start getting knowledgeable about cryptocurrency, folks. Watch my interview with Rosie Tran, watch my interview with Christy I, and start paying more attention, because this broken system of capitalism is crushing. It's coming down hard on us. And the two political parties and the ruling class that controls them does not give a shit about you. They don't care. They don't care. Thanks for watching the show, folks. Shaving Knuckles for Justice.